For the past 7 months, I've been selling sports cards online as a full-time job. And I get asked pretty regularly, how do I become a full-time seller on eBay? The answer is not simple, but it is attainable.
Come on, you can do it.
In this video, I want to cover some things that you need to do to be able to go full-time selling sports cards on eBay. Yo, YouTube. Thanks for joining me again at the Dollar Box. My name is Adam. I sell sports cards full-time on eBay. I've tried to build a community where we can all help each other in that space. This video is all about how to get yourself ready to sell full-time on eBay.
Right, eBay.
One of the first things you need to do is figure out your accounting. So everybody's situation is a little bit different. How much income do you need? Do you need benefits? Do you have insurance? Things like that. You really need to get the basic stuff nailed down to see if this is even something that would be feasible for you in your lifestyle. Then I would start by just doing some transactions on eBay, building yourself some brand, some business, some regular customers, and getting yourself some feedback. That's going to be very important for you to be able to be a power seller and sell the quantity you need to sell to be able to sell low-end sports cards for a living full-time. Okay, so we've got some of our numbers figured out. We realize this is something we can do. We've got some time on eBay. We have an understanding and a pretty good hold on how to sell on eBay, be able to do a large volume of transactions.
So good. What next? What next?
The next thing you need is a lot of inventory. So there's a couple ways to accomplish this. The way many have done it and the way I did it was just starting with some inventory, selling some stuff, buying some stuff, basically putting all the money that I made selling cards into buying more cards until I got to the point where I could get a regular income off of it and just use some of that money to buy more sports cards to continue growing. Your other option, of course, would be to get a large amount of capital right away, whether that's borrowing the money or using cash on hand, whatever the case may be, selling something else to buy inventory, and then just buying large amounts of cards if you can find them at one time. So some big collections, buy out a bunch of tables at a big card show, something like that, to get yourself a lot of inventory so you have things to sell. One very important piece about your inventory is to keep it organized. The more cards you get, the more you're going to have to pull to ship, the faster you're going to need that to go, so you're not spending all day just pulling your cards. So you need some proficient way that works for you to organize that inventory so you can get what you need quickly. However, getting inventory is only about half of the battle, not even half of the battle of being a full-time seller on eBay, because you need to take all that inventory and get it listed on eBay. So the next thing you need to do is make sure you have the right equipment to be able to sell at a volume, because scaling up is all about handling the extra amount of business that's going to come forward. So there's a few main tools that you're going to need. You're going to need some sort of storage space to put all this inventory, all these cards, your supplies, all that kind of stuff. You're going to need lots of supplies. So you're going to want to have a source where you can get your supplies from. Then you're going to need some equipment. You're going to definitely want a computer or a phone, smartphone, something that you can easily list cards with on eBay, as well as a really solid internet connection. Internet is a must. You can barely do anything without it on eBay, and so that you must have. Now, when you start to get to the next level or you're going full-time, then you can look at adding a scanner, a high-speed scanner to scan all your cards in, and then having a PC and using some sort of PC program to be able to list those cards and do that at a much faster pace than just listing one by one on your own. But the most essential piece to get right off the bat, doesn't cost very much, is a thermal printer. You can get a decent one. I'll put a link down below for the one that I use. You can get a decent one that's not Bluetooth, so it's hardwired to your computer. About 50 to 60 bucks. And then you can use the thermal labels, which are basically stickers you peel off and post over the envelope. You can get those if you buy them in enough quantity, 4,000 or 5,000 at a time. You can get them for a penny to 2 pennies. So very affordable, quick way to ship. Okay. So you're saying, Adam, I got all this stuff. I'm ready to go. How do I do this full time? That's where the trick kind of comes in, because you need to be able to take something from a side hustle where you just, if you make a few bucks, great. If you don't, no big deal, to having a consistent income. So you have to expand on not just being able to handle the volume, but being able to build your brand. You need to create a logo, have some business cards, start a YouTube channel, build a community, start a Discord, a Facebook group. You need to be able to find a way to separate yourself from other sellers so that you can build your brand and your customer base. If your ultimate goal is to run your own business and sell sports cards full time, it is something you can do, but it's a ton of work. You have to be into it, you have to be diligent with it, and you have to work more hours than you do with a regular full-time job. At least I do. Even with finding some ways to cut your time with some good equipment, eBay does a lot of help for you. There's just a lot to do and a lot to manage. Make sure you're diligently listing and shipping and listing. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.